Always when I want to do the vlogs, I wonder where should I make a beginning from or how should I begin. But then I have to start somewhere. And then, today I wanted to talk about all these political big weights and heavy weights, and some of them whom I have seen in my visions or dreams, and how big they are. And I just want to talk about how and what I saw them in the vision and dreams. So, before I start to talk about one of the presidents, he's no more anymore, he's not there anymore. So, before I start to speak about him, I want to give you a little bit on talk on the spirituality. See, a lot of times it may happen that you keep working or you keep meditating, praying, living the good life, and you do everything to find divine or to meet God, and then you never do. Should it any which way affect you that I did everything right, everything that should have been done was done by me, and I still did not get any divine experience? Should it sadden you? Should it move you from the path of being nice, being spiritual, being kind to people? So, I want to give the example of one of India's ex presidents. I don't know, ex is not the right word. He's no more, and APJ Abdul Kalam. I have written about him in my article of enlightenment, where his day of death got announced by this universe, and it was a very strange or a surprising experience. The only problem was I did not understand that dream then or vision then, because I truly did not know if APJ Abdul Kalam was alive or was he already dead. The reason was I was completely out of touch with TV, current affairs, newspapers, and I was not keeping in touch with the politics of anything. So when the dream got delivered, I was still not sure, and since I was traveling or I was on my weekend trip, there was no way I could check anywhere anything about him. Also, because in these weekend mountain places, you don't have much of a network. So, if someone were to ask who was APJ Abdul Kalam while he was the president of India, nobody will tell you that he was a saint, he was a meditating something, you know, meditating person. No, that is not how you relate to him. So, how does he achieve such a big spiritual stature? It is how good the work we do, truly. So, a lot of times people want to know in spirituality that, as I was saying, that what if I keep praying, meditating every day, being nice? What if I don't receive anything spiritually as a reward or any experience, divine experience? Answer is it doesn't mean you got denied anything, it just means you lived a good life. You know how big is spiritual entity APJ Abdul Kalam went as, which is India's president, is was known to me only after I read the messages that he's no more. And that is when I understood the vision. So, one, you can't work with spirituality keeping a end game or end result in mind, that I should be receiving this for me to continue to be on the path of spirituality. The second is divine is early. You know, this was sometime around when I had a mental breakdown, which was nothing but a certain psychic shift that I had in my head, and it was very difficult to cope with, very, very exhausting. But then I did, and during that time, one of Indian political leaders. So before I start, tell about that. Yeah, so maybe, yeah, as I'm telling you about that experience, you know, one day I woke up from a dream during that phase, and in the dream, I remember I'm standing in just a certain space which looked like the sky, and then there's a land down. And I heard a very loud voice scream, and the voice said, "What did I do wrong?" You know, here I'm not screaming, but in that dream, that voice had screamed, "What did I do wrong?" like this. And since I was in that dream, I knew it is not my voice because I wasn't shouting or I wasn't screaming. And it did not sound like my voice. And I wondered who's asking this question so loudly in this open space. And it was a night time in the dream. And I heard it so loud and clear. A voice screaming and asking, "What did I do wrong?" And then there was silence. And then I heard a voice which seemed to be coming from the sky. And the voice said, "I'm sorry, you were never wrong." It was very strange that a voice from the sky said, "I'm sorry, you were never wrong." And then I saw who had screamed. It was the Indian political leader Sushma Swaraj. So when I had woken up from the dream the next day, So next day when I woke up, I remembered the dream crystal clear. And I kept asking myself, what was she angry about? What was she saying that what did I do wrong? What was she asking this question for? I read the report. She's been diagnosed with kidney failure. My heart went out to her, and I wanted to tell her that this is the answer I heard for the question you had asked. So, it's not just a person who's doing easy work can manage to do his or her work with utmost integrity or nicety. It is also people at very big positions who do their work with lot of goodness and integrity about them. Like this, I've had dreams and visions about a lot of political leaders. See, one other dream I had was about Donald Trump. I'm a very big fan, but increasingly, I believe Donald Trump is going wrong at a lot of places. And where the American society is moving, he shouldn't be worried about more money. He needs to put a lot of morality in place. You know, he may not really, with his outlook, what he has right now, I don't know if he will be able to do much good unless he changes his outlook. I don't want to make it this like a political talk, so I'm going to stop here. But all I'm saying is that I'm a very big Trump fan because I used to watch The Apprentice and mighty impressed with not just him, a lot of editions of Apprentice across, different continents that has happened. And but now, I just believe that Trump needs to change his outlook. And the mistake he made earlier on also was he's thinking America as America and not in a larger role. That's all. Anyhow, so I will talk about the vision that I had about him. And this was sometime in, mm I think, December 2020, around about sometime then, or early 2021. I saw him dressed as a joker. You know how the joker has that ping pong red ball on the nose? He had that ball on his nose, and he had this curly necklace around his joker dress, and he had full sleeve joker dress. You know, if you see the circus, you will see the joker there. He was dressed like that in the vision, and he had a certain hat on him. And there was a iron bar which was placed like this, and somebody was pushing it with lot of weight down. So I did not see anybody pushing the iron bar down on him, but I felt the iron bar pushing him down, and he was trying to push the iron bar up. And that was at the peak of how people wanted him out of office, and when he went out of office, they had made him look like a joker and moved out. So that's the vision I had seen about him. Just how I have seen that vision, I had seen one more vision about him long back, and because of that vision, I believe he will be re-elected. So I get told future through visions and dreams. And just to get these interpretations of dreams and visions right can take a lot of time. Sometimes it can take years. And in sometime in 2018 is when I saw a certain setup that he's a president, and I think that setup is going to play out with him getting re-elected. That's very very likely that he will get re-elected. So I don't explain that setup just yet, because I don't think you as my audience are ready to hear that out. So I'm just going to stop at just giving that you know prediction that very very likely I see Trump getting re-elected. Okay, now let us talk about some more president and prime ministers. Why am I talking about it? See, I just want to tell you that being very big means you are definitely doing a lot of work, and your vibration in the universe is huge. But I'm just saying that how much spirituality can reward despite a lot of people not knowing it. See, when I spoke about Sushma Swaraj, the Indian politician, that in the dream I saw her screaming and asking, "What did I do wrong?" And that scream was very loud. I can't scream here on right now and show you how loud it was. But in the dream I was like, whose voice is this? And I could tell it is not me screaming. So, and then when I had seen her, I wanted to know what had happened. Why was she screaming? And then that day, when I read that she's been diagnosed with kidney failure, and the universe, this divine, had truly apologized to her and said, I'm sorry, you were never wrong. So, she may not have had any divine experience. Doesn't mean divine is not with you. Maybe she did. But all I'm saying is maybe sometimes you will never have a certain spiritual experience. Doesn't mean your voice is not reaching the divine. So there are some more. Mm, there are some more. I wanted to talk about presidents and prime ministers, but my time is up. I can't talk longer than this because my recorder just goes off then. But I will talk about Narendra Modi also, the Indian Prime Minister. I had only had one dream about him, and in that dream, I saw him standing, and he did this, like this, and he said, I can't handle it, I can't handle it, I can't handle it. And he was doing this. You know, when we are such a amazingly overpopulated country and so diverse, I can imagine his stress levels. I can imagine his stress levels. And I come with a great empathy in my heart, with lot of understanding that we should be kind to our politicians and political leaders and take interest in sorting things even at a very local level. Things should not get big or go too far and beyond and become bad at a very local level. I will continue talking about these dreams and visions about political leaders. There are two more, and I will do it, or three more. I will do it in the next vlog.